What if you were in a situation where you're feeling unfulfilled, you're feeling stuck, you know that God has something for you, but you're just not sure how to get started? Well, welcome to Women Who Shine, a podcast mini series that spotlights some of my clients from the Sold Out Method program who have had amazing moves from God, strides. They have courageously moved into the position and the purpose that God has called them to. So we're going to be hearing from one of my favorites, Beverley Simmons, and we're going to hear about her story. She couldn't see herself before, but now she does. So stay tuned. Hi, Beverly. How are you?
Hey, Christine, I'm good. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for giving me your some time and undivided attention. I'm really excited to share your story with the world and just let people know where you were and where you are now, because somebody out there is going to be encouraged by this. So I'm
Right.
just grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that you're
Okay.
here. So let's get started. So before joining the Sold Out Method program, what was your biggest struggle or challenge in discovering or pursuing the purpose that God had for you?
Myself. I was
Explain that. What does that mean?
well, overthinking for one thing, um, and yeah, basically overthinking things and trying to work things out so that everything is right, but really not knowing how to go about it. And so
Mm,
it actually took me stepping out and doing something I would not normally do in order for me to hear God.
I love
And
that.
I would and
So,
I would have to say he aligned things because he knows what it takes to move me.
right.
And so then I had to move.
So what did he do? How did he align things for you so that you would take a step of faith, because it was faith,
Hmm.
so that you could move into position?
Okay. So I hate to say it, but I guess I'm a people pleaser. Okay. And I
I was too. I was too.
and I was in a job where I loved it, but things were going on that I didn't care about, but I was still being loyal to the job and to the people.
Mhm.
And it was a conversation that I had. I was a teacher, special ed. And I had a conversation with another teacher, and the way that she responded to me for a simple question that I asked her, and we were going to be working together the next year. In the midst of the conversation, something snapped inside of me, and I walked out her classroom and I said, "Okay, Lord, I get it. It's time to move on." But that moving on was to another school in my mind. But God had something else for me because even after having two job offers the same day and doing everything that was required of me to start working, nothing happened. It just fell through. I heard nothing back. And everything that I tried to get a job in teaching, although I'm hearing, we need teachers, it was not happening. So finally I said, okay, Lord, what is it that you have for me to do? What is my purpose? I need to know. And I spent time in prayer doing that. And then one day on Facebook, I'm scrolling on Facebook and an ad pops up for health coaching. I'm like, hmm, do you remember that after you graduated from college, you applied to nursing school and you got in, and you were supposed to start because you wanted to help people to get better, but then you got sick and it didn't happen. And so now, all these years later, I'm finally going to go, not to be a nurse, but to help people understand how God has designed their bodies to heal itself.
Amen. And it's so needed right now. It's so
Yeah.
needed right now. So, how did we get connected? So, God showed you. I
So,
love how God does
okay.
things step by step. He doesn't overwhelm us, right? Because then some of us
Yes.
will just shrink back and run. So, how did we get connected?
Okay. So I'm always, trying to listen to podcasts and videos and, learn new things. And someone that I was familiar with had sent me a link to uh, a series that was going to be going on. And apparently you were one of the speakers. And I signed up for one of your free gifts. And so apparently you were sending me emails, but I wasn't opening them. But then one day something caught my attention. I opened it and I was like, oh, okay. But I had recently gone to somebody else that was doing similar what you're doing. And my experience there on their free thing, I was turned off by it. And so when I read it, then I got a next one from you and I opened it and I read it. And I was like, it's going to be the same thing. But then the third one that came, I was like, okay, Lord, this lady has been sending this to me all this time, and I'm only now seeing it. Okay, if I get one more, then I'll go and I'll register. And I got the one more, and I registered, and you were, what is 180 degrees different than the
Wow.
one that I had gone before, and I was like, okay, this is what I was supposed to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I want to just do a recap before we go on.
Hmm.
So, just so that the audience really hears what I'm saying, if you're looking for your purpose, God is going to guide you step by step. Just follow his clues, follow his guidance. Beverly wasn't opening my emails, but one of the things I do when I'm having a major event is I send emails consistently. We have to be consistent because God is your partner, and when at the appointed time he nudged Beverly to open up the email. She might not know he was nudging, but he was nudging, right? So she didn't capture any of my other emails, but that's okay. At the appointed time, she opened my email and realized it was 180 degrees different. So one point is be consistent in nurturing and sharing value with your audience. And then two, um, God has the right person for you, right? The right person for you. You don't have to worry that there's 100 financial advisors out there or thousands of health coaches out there. But understand that who is for you, and that's what you focus on. So, Beverly, thanks for sharing that. What was it about me and the program, Sold Out Method, my 6 month program, that was different to the others? Was there anything specifically that stood out for you that made you say, okay,
Yes.
yes?
Okay, I don't know if I can say this. Well, I'm not going to give any names, but
Don't give any names. I
no,
don't want any names.
no.
Yeah.
So this particular person, the information she was sharing seemed valuable, but I was turned off by language that was used in sharing. Okay. And so when I came, to your free event, um, it was right away I saw a different spirit. I felt a
Mm.
different spirit. And then, it's like you're using scripture, throughout the whole thing. There was no language I had to be concerned about. all like that. So it was like there was a connection. It was
I love
what
that.
I needed.
I love that. And what I created a program that I would want. I created a program that I would want because I was tired of hearing about Buddha and the universe. And as a Christian woman, I wanted to hear about God and his word. And I knew, you know, God has his promises and his principles and his strategies in his word. Sometimes we're just not able to decipher it, but he's given me the gift to decipher what is needed for those I'm called to. And
Mhm.
so I wanted that difference. And so I give my audience that because I know if I have that need and desire, there's got to be other women out there that have that need and desire. And you were one of them. So you joined the Sold Out Method program. And what was the turning point for you during the program?
Okay. I would say one that sticks out in my mind, and I was just sharing it with someone last week,
Mm-hmm.
was when you had us to go and write, to like basically journal, to think
Mm-hmm.
back to our earliest memory of events that happened. And a particular event that happened when I was like, I'm going to say between 5 and 6, but closer to 5, because this is when my dad and I first came to the United States, and I had just turned 5. And a question that was asked to me by an adult, and asking me what I wanted to be when I grew up. And 5 years old, coming from the islands, that's not something that, to me is asked, as it is now, here in the
Mm-hmm.
States. And I was like, I don't know. I just want to live, you know.
Mm.
And it was then turned around and reported that I said, when I grow up, I want to live with a man. And so that was one that has affected me, because
Mm-hmm.
then growing up, going to college, getting married, hoping that and wanting to work, but
Mm-hmm.
then being sick and not being able to, it's like, oh, that's what you're doing. You're living with a
Okay.
man. Yes, I was married, but you're living with a man, you know.
Mm.
He's supporting you. So like that was like in my head, and I didn't realize it. And then there were other times with the journaling that it made me go back to um, specific things in my childhood, and
Mm-hmm.
how I'm still living it in a
Mm-hmm.
sense, and it's holding me back because that was my childhood, but I'm an adult.
Right. So give the audience a specific thing in the program that really helped you to move forward.
Um, well, okay. Can I say like your
Mindset
I,
tool.
yeah, like can I mention like
Mind-
the scripts, you know?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Um, even like recently, I there was something I don't remember specifically that I was to do, and I was having a hard time. So then I went and I got a video that was doing the affirmations and different things. And I put it on and I was listening to it, and I'm walking around and I'm repeating it. And then after about like 20 minutes of doing it, it was like the change in atmosphere, the change in myself. And then I went ahead and I did what I was fearful of doing,
I love it. I
So it's
love it.
like you gave us tools to be in our toolbox that no one can take away, and we can pull it out whenever we need to use it to move forward.
I love it.
That's what I loved.
I love it. Thank you, Beverly, so much for sharing that. So, tell the audience very quickly what is it you do and how they can get a hold of you?
Okay, so basically, I'm a health coach. I'm a certified health coach, and I work with women of faith who basically are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Okay, they have a chronic disease, or maybe that they are the caretaker. They're the one that the head of the household or something that's taking care of someone that they love who's sick. And through the programs that I have, I'm educating them to learn how God has given them the ability, their body, the ability to repair and rebuild itself by the way we live, by the way we move, by the way we think, and how we eat. And I use God's word and the medical information to be able to teach them this. So then, like me now, it wasn't me before, that when I go to my doctor, I'm not just taking what they say. I can speak up for myself now because I know what I know now and get what I want.
I
I can
love it.
advocate for myself and for my family. That's
So
what I
you
love.
help your clients do that as well.
Yes, I help them to get the confidence because when
Mm-hmm.
you know something, you know it. Like there were
Mm-hmm.
there were things that I kind of knew before, especially like with my mom, dealing with my mom when she was sick. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like I thought I wasn't sure. So when the doctor said, "Oh no, oh we can't do that. This is what we have to do," I acquiesced. And then later on, what I was saying that I wanted to do could have been done, but it was too late. But if
Mm-hmm.
I had the confidence then,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
who
And the
knows?
knowledge
And
and
the
the
knowledge,
wisdom.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so
So, what I get from what you're saying is just so the audience is on board with us. One, this program helped you to get the confidence that you needed to
yes,
live your dream and to use the gifts God gave you. It also gave you, because as you're building in your business, things are going to show up, you're going to get triggered, and your fears are going to show up again. So what do you
mhm,
do with that? Because the confidence doesn't always just last forever.
right,
In the program, you have tools to reset or renew your mind or reignite that confidence to do what you needed to do so you can keep moving forward in your business. So
yeah,
the sold out method program basically helps you to find your genius and then build that confidence so that you can actually build your business.
yes,
And so I'm so grateful that, Beverly, you got to meet me, I got to meet you so that we could work together to help you not to just dream your dream, but to live your dream as well. So thank you
exactly.
so much. So
Thank
I
you.
have Beverly's URL or link on the website for you to schedule a consultation with her. And if you could tell them what that link is.
The chat with Bev, is that
tinyurl.com/chat with Bev. Go to www.tinyurl.com/chat with Bev to schedule a consultation. She's very good at giving you holistic methods to heal so that eventually you can get your healing. If you don't like pharmaceutical drugs like myself, you can get the healing that you need. You could do it with some pharmaceutical drugs so that you can wean yourself off of the pharmaceutical drugs, or just have methods to maintain and sustain a healthy life. Am I right?
exactly?
And
Yes.
she's very good at what she does. That is definitely the wisdom God has given her and the gift. So whenever I have a client or a friend that has some challenges, I always tell them about Beverly and send them your link. So again, go to tinyurl.com, chat with Bev to get the information that you need. And then if you want to find out a little more about the program that Bev was in, and you want to discover your genius and you want to build the confidence to live it, go to talktoclestine.com and register. So that's talktoclestine.com. It's a free consultation. I'll take a look at where you are, where you want to be, what God has called you to do, and then we can move it forward. So thank you for being a part of this first episode of Women That Shine. Bev, thank you so much for being here. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you. God bless you.
Okay. Bye bye.